Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over Michael Jackson's Invincible. But first I was filming something else for a different project you'll see soon, and the stand broke and it fell over as I was filming, which is going to go in a blooper reel soon too. But anyway, so we're back to the old setup because I have to use it stood on the desk because it will just fall over, which is just, it was hilarious, and you'll see it soon. Anyway, we're going to go over Invincible today, so let's get straight into it with a So this album is a double picture disc, and it comes in one of these plastic sleeves that has a gatefold, which is cool. Now I've already taken them out because they're a pain in the ass to get out, and I don't want you to see me struggle for 5 minutes trying to get them out. But I'm gonna put them in proper sleeves because this is really poorly designed. Most brain. Most picture discs come in a really poorly designed thing, but I like pictures of MJ, and I like that as well. But I'll show you the picture disc because I mean that's like the reason why you'd buy this. So side 1 is a nice blue, and then side 2 is a nice green. Side 3, orange, my favourite colour, and side 4 is a nice red. It does look really cool. Like, I mean, if you like your picture discs, it is a cool find. But it's not like the best, you know. The gatefolds always come in this really poorly designed sleeve, and every picture disc, that I've bought has come in something that's really poorly designed and rubbish. I would only recommend you buy picture discs if you really like the album. Like, I do really enjoy this album. But we'll talk about the music. I know this is some really short segments, but there's not a lot to see. So the music on this album, unfortunately, it's like a knife that's been dulled over time. You know, this is the last album he would release, and this follows 1993's Dangerous, which is so much better. My main problem with this album is just how bland it sounds. It sounds great, but it's all just the same sound over and over and over again. You know, the production is very light, it's very creamy, very washed, and you know, this early 2000s pop with these dance beats, and even there's one bit on this album where it says, "It's time to put your 3D glasses on." Because, of course, late 90s, early 2000s, 3D was, 3D cinema was huge, and that was coming into the mainstream. It's really cheesy, really corny. You know, you've got your song about saving the world. So I'm not going to go through every song on the album because a lot of them are rather similar. But the opening track, Unbreakable, is an amazing song. I love the beat on that song. Very catchy, very groovy. I love his lyrics, where he's singing about how I've been through all this. I've conquered everything, and I'm still here. I am unbreakable. I am strong, and I love the message. You know, it's a great message for your song, and I love the Notorious B.I.G. I believe it's the Notorious B.I.G.'s verse on the song is fantastic. Heartbreaker is alright. Invincible. Another song that's really, really good is Privacy. Now, it starts with people going, oh, it's Michael Jackson, oh, it's Michael Jackson, which it sounds a bit cheesy, but as it goes into the song, it's really catchy, very groovy, and again, I love the lyrics, it can't be easy being famous, and Michael Jackson sings that he wants to go out and he just wants to have a nice time by himself, just leave me alone, give me my privacy, and that must be true. Obviously, I don't know, but being that famous, you can't really go out anywhere because people will want to take pictures with you every time, which must get horrible, I couldn't deal with that myself. But otherwise, I mean, the closing track, Threatened, is a really good song. Again, the lyrics, he's talking about you're making up these allegations about me and they're not true. Stop threatening me, leave me alone. And unfortunately, look, there are allegations out there against Michael Jackson, and I'm going to leave them out of this review. I'm going to leave them out entirely. I'd separate the music from the man, and yes, there are bad things about Michael Jackson. Um, there are allegations, still, but just not in this review. But otherwise, a lot of the songs, it just doesn't. It's lost its edge, or he's lost his edge. Um, it's really, again, just a bland knife, a knife that's lost its edge. Is how I would explain this album. You go back to Dangerous in the 90s, and that is fantastic. That is a really sharp knife with some fantastic beats and grooves and guitar work, and I love Dangerous. It's my favourite MJ album. But then this one is really bland. But after this album, he would release a really great song called They Don't Care About Us. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us, which is a song about the record label who, I believe they were screwing him over. But otherwise, if you like Michael Jackson, you like his singing voice, I would definitely recommend it. But otherwise, it's not one of his best, Obviously, albums like Dangerous, Thriller, Off the Wall, Bad are a million times better. But yeah, in conclusion, so overall, I'd give this, better hold the record. I'd give this a 6 out of 10. If for a last album, it is a bit of a letdown, and I haven't really been a fan of this era of pop music. To be honest with you, I think pop music peaked in the 90s, and then there was a bit of stuff like James Blunt, and I like a bit Take That, I'm not ashamed to admit it, Take That are great, but pop music never really recovered for me, and then you get into the early 2010s, and that's where it just died for me. Anyway, way off point, whole other video in itself. Overall, 6 out of 10. It's a great little album. Thanks for watching. I know this one was probably a bit shorter than usual, but a bigger video, great epic video to come. See you soon.